So hello there everybody. I just realized actually today that Super Robot Wars 30 can be played on Android phones pretty smoothly on, I guess today, what is considered to be mid-end hardware, pretty smoothly. And actually I'm using Winlator for it. For those that didn't know, Winlator is a Windows emulator. It's basically trying to use Wine so that you could play Windows applications on your Android phone. So anyway, this screen capture is using my Xiaomi 10T, which is a Snapdragon 865 mobile phone, which is hardly top tier nowadays, but still, I'm surprised that this game actually runs the SRW30 pretty smoothly. So anyway, to show you, the version that I downloaded is Winlator 6.1 as of this video, which is again found on GitHub, and you don't need anything else. You just copy the SRW30 files on the downloads folder of your Android phone. Of course, just a basic disclaimer, I did not basically use the legit Steam copy because as far as I know, it doesn't support Steam yet. Winlator does not support Steam yet, and I am using a different kind of release. Wink, wink. But anyway, to show you, okay, I already downloaded SRW30 and copied it on my Android phone's download folder. And I have just run, and it worked really well. Looking at my settings, here are the settings that on my current experimentation seems to be working well for the device. 720p is to be the decent one because anything higher than that makes the game slow down a lot more. And the graphics driver is also Turnip. Using VIRGL doesn't seem to work. Game doesn't want to boot. For the DX wrapper, all of this work, but in my opinion, in a weird way, DXVK is the faster because it does everything else looks like it's running it on a kind of very slow. The game slows down when FPS goes down, kind of like how emulation works. However, if you use DXVK, it kind of tries to make a sort of frame skip, but it does introduce some bizarre form of some. I guess on PC you could argue that it feels like VSync issues where you see some sort of graphics cut off when the VSync is disabled on your computer and you're trying to play full screen games. Anyway, audio driver is still on alpha. Now on cores, even the game, as far as I know, the Snapdragon 865, the fastest core is Core 7, and even if I use only a single core, it's working pretty well. But to be safe, I enabled just CPU 6 and CPU 7 for it. Now these are for the command, and the GPU name doesn't really matter. The off-screen rendering mode is kind of not so important as well, but to be safe, I would rather this is the safer memory size because again, the game doesn't seem to be that high on system resources, shader math. There are some minor issues if we try to change this, so this is the safest one that I have done. So anyway, on another part, on the Win component, yeah, I keep this on default. Everything seems to be on Wine except direct sound, just native to Windows. And then environment variables, I did not change anything. And the last one is the advanced. The preset, when I tried performance, the game doesn't go that much faster, but the problem is if I use performance, sometimes there will be a bizarre bug in which the controller stops responding. The virtual controller, if it's touchscreen, I haven't tested this game yet on actual Android compatible controllers. But anyway, here we go. Those are the settings that I've been using, and let's try running SRW30 on it. See, I have already made a shortcut, but normally every file that you downloaded on your Android phone, when you put it in the downloads folder, you can access it on the downloads folder. So let's go SRW30 and double click on SRW30.exe. double tap. Now, when I first tested it, I thought the game wasn't actually working, but I guess I was really wrong about it. Because, the funny part is, I thought the game wasn't working because you could only see the icon here, but there's an FPS counter in the upper left. So I thought the emulator, the application did not support SRW30. But what's actually happening is the game actually loads really slowly. The initial loading of the game will need us to wait at least, I think, about a minute. I mean, you can already see that it's taking us forever and a half to happen. So let's wait for it. But you can see the cursor, although it's kind of miscolored. But at least it doesn't really matter in the end. Oh yeah, also, maybe at this point we should just enable the touchscreen virtual gamepad. And that is, here we go. Yeah, it's that long, and I thought it wasn't working. The time that I realized it was actually loading very slow was when I left the phone because I wanted to go to the CR, and then when it came back, the game was already running, and I was really surprised. So, yeah, that's the fun part. So anyway, as you can see there, the game is actually working. So, I guess at this point, this is like a screen recording, so I could show you how the game performs. Now you could also hear the audio. It's running perfectly with very minimal graphics issues, although with that VSync issue looking thing. And besides that, graphically, it's very much playable. You don't need the PC to play SRW30 anymore or use Yuzu, which, as far as I know, is still a lot slower than this method. Although it is, as far as I know, you can play SRW30 using Yuzu. But it was so slow when I first tried it. I'd rather use this method to play SRW30 now. Yeah, let me increase the volume a little bit. As you can see, there is a little bit of an issue regarding the yeah, as you can see there, it's really working pretty well. The FPS is not perfect. Let me stretch the visual a little so you can see it. There. The FPS is only about 40, but it basically doesn't really matter. The game, you can almost see because the majority of the animations in the game only run on trees anyway. So it basically means that even if you can run the game on 20 FPS, it doesn't really matter. You can see the majority, if not all, of the animation, because the game animates on trees anyway, and then it becomes like it will feel like animating on twos when you go fast forward the game. As you can see there, everything loads, although a little bit slow. As you can see that the initial load feels like you're loading on a very slow mechanical hard drive, I guess, or an SD card maybe. But after the initial load, it becomes pretty decently fast. I also tried running the game on a higher resolution, but even on 1600 by 900, the game becomes a little bit too slow, at least on my phone here. So I guess if you have a faster phone, you can do it. So anyway, yeah, I'll show you gameplay. And thank God I was able to transfer my save file as well. So my save game is what I was able to copy. And as you can see here, the loading is very slow, to the point that I thought that the game isn't working correctly. But I guess that's really normal. But at least I can play the game now sort of natively on Android phones, which is awesome. See here? Yeah, this is like my last save file. Yeah, in map, as you can see here, working pretty darn well. Yeah, even the touchscreen control is still working. Mouse control. It's kind of complicated, but still. Again, basically running almost like full speed, so I have no issues with it. Actually, also because I'm capturing the screen using SCRCPY, the performance of the emulation is a little bit actually about 10% slower. So if you actually play it, it goes a little bit faster, but still, as you can see, dude, it's basically full speed. I don't have issues with it. Sure, the game slows down a little, but I don't care. You can even hold the A button to make the animation go faster, so it doesn't really matter, right? Like that. Yeah, it's just the loading. Also, my apologies for the custom music. It's just one of my bizarre ways to try to avoid music copyright, but it doesn't really work out most of the time. But still, it's some funny custom music that I've been using. Yeah, looking at the cutscene right now, we're running at 45, so not exactly full speed, but it's kind of a speed that I don't notice much because you're just reading text anyway. So that is why I am completely satisfied with the performance right now, and I'm so happy that it's actually possible to play the game right now pretty easily on Android. Yeah, so as you can see, the game runs pretty nicely on Android, so yeah, I have no complaints. Anyway, hopefully that would help you if because I just noticed that in YouTube there was literally no videos on how to play SRW30 on Android. So right now, in my opinion, as of this video, I would rather play SRW30 on Android using the PC version by using Winlator. So anyway, that is all for now. Thank you guys for watching. This is just a video to show that SRW30 works on Winlator, and if you have a decent phone enough, the game runs pretty well and could be played with basically no issues at all. So anyway, this is RiderVM. Thank you guys for watching. I generally play obscure video games or retro games on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, and Kick. If you're interested in watching me, I generally stream at night. And you can watch me anytime and talk about with basically anything. So anyway, that is all for now. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope that I will still see you guys in another video. So bye for now. Bye bye.